Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of Buddy Pass Podcast. Chris Rafferty, Aiden Crowley, Brett Tippett's back at it with you boys. What you guys been up to since the last time we talked? I mean, we gotta regroup here.
Same shit, different day. I say it every week.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Homework, school, gym. That's pretty much it.
Same with me, minus the gym.
Oh yeah.
Plus the
Okay.
dunks.
Yeah, you
Any stories?
just swap the gym for dunks for Brett, and it's the same
I
schedule.
actually I haven't gone to Dunks in a while because I've like at Target I've been buying like the gallons of cold brew, like the Dunkin' cold brew,
Smart.
like just the gallons of it and just making it at home instead.
So what's a while? Like 2 or 3 hours?
I mean I did that like a week ago, so I haven't gone in like a week.
Oh
Well,
wow.
Trader.
I did go get a bagel a few days ago.
Yeah, there you go. Can't stay away, baby. Hey, you got
But-
like a gym story or something, or like anything?
So I go to Planet Fitness, because I like work there and everything. And
Big guy.
there's big gym guy.
Humble brag.
The number of Well, actually, I shouldn't. There's not a ton of old creepy guys, but there's a select few old creepy guys that I was watching one of them the other day, and I almost said something to him, but I made sure he knew I was watching him.
Oh, you hero.
He was staring at girls left and right. It was
Weirdo, dude.
bad. It was bad, and there were like I watched him do this for like half an hour. He went from the treadmill watching a couple girls, and then he went to the Smith machines next to one of the girls he was watching, and he like during his sets he was like looking at her. And so I was like working out around him, and every time he picked his head up, I made sure he knew I was watching him. And I always made it I always made a thing to like make eye contact with him. And so I made eye contact with him a few times, and he like knew he would like look at me and like look away. And so I didn't
Oh,
say anything
shit.
to him,
If I
but
was
he
getting the death stare from you.
huh?
I'd be terrified if I was getting the death stare from you.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
So shit.
No,
So you got the gym, you got Planet Fitness on lockdown.
I do,
Security
I
and
do.
everything.
I'm
Got you.
I'm a doll when it comes to the member services. If you're nice to me, I'll help you out. But if you're a dick, I will throw you out and cancel your membership. So
Fucking rights. You're the hero we need at Planet Fitness. Is that it? Like, is that the gym stories?
I mean, he's the only guy that I've run into that's kind of been like a creep about it. I hear other stories from my coworkers, but no, other than that, I keep my head low in Planet Fitness. I throw my hood up, I do my thing, and I get out.
Head low, buys high. Let's go.
Where'd you find those
I got.
keys, Raph?
I did find the keys. I was just about to bring that up because I know everybody this past week that listens to the podcast was like really worried about that. I didn't actually find the keys myself. My dad did it. I'm here grinding homework on like a Saturday because I'm a loser, and I hear from outside. Like, I have music playing. I hear from outside. Um, sorry. I hear from outside that like some dude screaming, like yelling, in like a cheerful way though. So I wasn't freaked out. I was like, oh, word, Weymouth is at it again. And I'm doing my homework. And I hear my dad come in. He goes, "Hey Slacker, I found the keys, you bum." And I'm like, okay, like congrats, dude. Thanks, man. He goes, "Yeah, you really looked hard enough." And know what I was like, dude, the snow melted. Know what I would compare this to is like, when like you're opening a jar and then you're like going at this thing and you can't get it undone, and then like right when someone like tries it the first time, they get it undone, and you're kind of like, oh, I loosened it up for you. It's kind of like that with the snow melting for me. So whatever. I was pissed about that. But my last story before we can go on with this. I skated for the first time in a men's league
Oh boy.
this Friday. First time I hit the ice in probably like 8-9 months. And like I was so hyped to go. Like I was with my boy Hazy, and his brother Jimbo and his uncle Ricky. So we're buzzing there. And I hit the ice. I had to take one look into the glass. I'm like, damn, dude, I have no sty anymore. And then I'm playing, and like it just hits me, man. I'm a bag of soup now, like a straight up bag of soup. And there's this dude there that like he runs the whole thing, and like we got like the mask on and like everything. We're following the rules there. And this dude, 50 years old, easily runs the whole thing, burying me with chirps, burying me. he comes up to me, "Hey, what's your name?" I go, "Oh, what's up? I'm Chris." He goes, "Oh, what's up, man?" Whatever. 5 minutes later, he's calling me a lazy fuck and he like grow some nuts. I'm like, no, I'm like coasting into a corner because I'm not like who do I think I am, Patrick Kane out there?
Pick up
And
on you.
he's like, Chris, you're such a loser. Like, get in there. He didn't say loser. He called me a pussy though. But I'm like, dude, I got off the ice because I was so mad. I was there. It was like over. We had like an hour 40 on the ice or whatever. I got off after an hour. I wasn't even like dead from the cardio. Like my legs were just milk at that point. Like I have no strength in my legs. The cardio surprisingly not wasn't too bad. But I was like, dude, I'm not sitting here getting buried by a 50-year-old dude. I was so mad I couldn't say anything. And I had to give him the $20 for skating after. That was just the saddest moment of the night. It was like handing him the $20. He was on my team too. Like he's on my team.
He's on your team and he's throwing you down like that.
On my team. And
Oh,
he tries
that's
to be
even
some
better.
big captain, dude. And the all like mad dudes there had some like they had like matching jerseys. Like they had like it was like green and white. Like there's some like league together. It was really cute. Like, I absolutely love teamwork and friendship. Then I'm like, dude, you're a clown. I literally don't think you've moved from this blue line the entire time. I swear to God. It was such a joke. So that's what that was. I was pissed. I got buried by a 50-year-old, but that's my stories for the week.
Are you
Um,
repping a visor in men's league, or you still got the cage
I have the cage with the my town colors are
with your yellow
yellow.
bucky?
Yeah, it's yellow and gold or
Oh,
yellow and maroon.
Oh, the yellow
So I have
bucket.
like the yellow bucky with like the wing, the sticker on the side. And I'm like, I gotta get a black bucky. I gotta get like the tinted visor, like a tinted like red or some shit visor, like something so stupid, just to buzz around out there with. But yeah, I walked out with a cage. I was like, damn, I'm kind of a dust ball, but like whatever, we'll get there.
speaking of before we get into hockey talk, Raph brought to my attention that I absolutely bagged on him last week. And I was like, no, I didn't. You're just being a little baby about it. And then I went back and listened to the episode, and I did in fact just shit on Raph the entire time.
No
So
reason.
no reason at all. It was just like instinct. It's what I did.
Like I
Just-
don't mind too. I was
I
like,
know you.
it took me like after the episode, I was like kind of watching it over, and I'm like, why was this kid coming for my neck
I
the
know.
entire thing? You're like, no one you, they're inside the house, and I was like, okay, man, sorry. He goes, and you're like, get out there and look, and I'm like, okay, man, I'll go do that.
I think it's
Relax.
I think it's because I live with you, or I lived with you for a year and a half. I just have
Yeah.
all this pent up anger
Oh yeah, married
towards
couple
you.
vibes. Married couple vibes. Brett as the cat that we just leave outside.
Yup.
House cat baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
thank
that.
you. I appreciate that.
Yes. I didn't mean to shit on you. Maybe I'll agree with you a little bit this episode, but I'll probably still
No,
shit
no,
on
I'm
you.
not saying agree. I'm saying throw chairs, but dude,
Yeah.
relax. Maybe let's go after Brett this episode. We'll figure it out. But hockey
No.
talk, hockey talk has commenced, boys. I won't fuck up like I did last week and skip the teams from the end of the episode. So who AIDS? Do you want to start with your team? I forgot who was your team last week.
Yeah, so this was my first L of this segment. Kind of. So I had Nashville, and the day we recorded last Tuesday, and that Tuesday night they were supposed to play the second game of a back-to-back against Tampa. And back then I was like, they lost last night. They're, no team likes to lose two in a row to the same team. And what did they do? They went out and got buried 6-1 by Tampa.
Right, fucking Reds.
So then they
They
played
didn't like it though. I bet they didn't like it.
you know what? They probably didn't.
Yeah,
And then they had two against Detroit and obviously one against Dallas. That was supposed to be last night, but it got postponed.
bullshit.
Um, and they had one tonight, this Tuesday against Dallas, which also just got postponed because Texas doesn't know how to handle 3 inches of snow down south.
Oh,
So
it's because of snow.
it's literally, yeah, there's a bunch of power outages. It's not COVID related. It's all weather.
That's such a joke, dude. That's
So
such
like
a joke.
Texas, most of Texas, I think, is out of power right now because they don't ever get snow. So when they do get it, they have no idea what to do.
You get one hair dryer for the whole city, you'll be fine in like 10 minutes with the snow
Well,
they
that's
get.
I think it's less snow and more like ice. I think it's really cold right now. But still, like, come on. We deal like what they're going through right now
Mhm.
down south is probably another
Not to
Wednesday
apologize.
here in New England.
We talk about weather a lot on
We
this
do
pod.
talk about
I
weather a
just
lot.
noticed that.
We're getting
Hey,
old.
we got the forecast coming for you at the end of the episode. Stay
Yeah.
tuned, boys.
But
Um,
anyway, yeah, Nashville, they obviously lost. I predicted they were going to go 3-1. Um, lost to Tampa, split 1-1 against Detroit, and then obviously didn't play last night. So they went 1-2, and I wasn't happy about it. How do you lose to Detroit?
I don't know,
They're
dude.
dead last in the league right now, I think.
I think the Sens are dead last, but we can talk about them
Oh,
later.
maybe. I'm pretty
Brett,
sure.
who did you have again for your?
So I had the Blues, which this was actually
Fuck the Blues.
this was I know because of the 1-0 loss, but this was my first W, I believe, of these teams. It was my first pick that went above 500. Um, which is-
Wow.
um, they played the Coyotes 3 times this week. When I talked about them last week, I think for some reason I thought they were only playing the Coyotes twice this week, but it turns out they played them 3 times. Must have just missed one. And the one loss that they had, because they went 2-1, the Blues went 2-1 against them, and the one loss was only 1-0, which is
Joke.
brutal. Like
Joke of
just
a team.
just a goal or two, and they could have gone 3-0 against them. But yeah, when I thought it was only 2 games, I predicted they'd go 2-0, but they went 2-1 because there was apparently a third.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's a W, I'd say, above 500. So
I'd
I'll
say
take
that.
it.
Yeah, I'd
My
say
first
that.
one of the year, I think.
Fucking
Finally.
rights.
One
Snaps
and
for
one
the
and
boys.
three?
Loses
1-3?
about that, yeah. We don't have to talk about the other ones though.
Very nice. Good job with your pick. Hopefully, you
What
don't go
about
back
you?
in the hot seat.
Who you had?
I had the Bruins. I just thought,
Oh, that's right.
they're a team I was just obviously enjoying watching. They went 2-1. They beat the Rangers twice, lost to the Islanders in such a joke of a tilt. Thought they could have won that game. The Islanders, dude, they just have the Bruins number right now because they're just so systematic and so like just calculated in everything they do on their forecheck, their back check, their defensive zone. Like everything is so calculated. I feel like the Bruins just have a hard time like beating a team that doesn't give them much. They can't really exploit a team like that. The Rangers game, the second one, that was the one with like three tilts, right? Was it the
Yeah,
first
Yeah,
one?
the
Dude, it
second
was
one
a
was the feisty one. Yeah.
crazy dude. I absolutely loved all the tilts in that. That needs to stay in the game no matter what. I don't think it's leaving anytime soon, but
yeah. Fuck the NHL and fuck anyone who thinks that fights should not be in the league, or the people that
yeah.
don't like fights in hockey. Like that's literally what it's built off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think because I think it's the players union that like decides on that. So obviously the players are gonna want it in. So it's
Yeah.
not going anywhere, but still if you have to like be on the outside making noise, like dude, like these you know what I mean? Like it's a part of the game. They know what they're doing. Like they know they're not gonna put themselves necessarily in a position to hurt themselves unless, there's been a few times recently, or not even like very few times in a good amount of time, like Ovechkin knocking out Shevchenko. That was
Yep.
pretty
Oh
bad and gave him
yeah.
a concussion. But like that's probably the worst I've seen in a long time. It's more about like the hits from behind, the slew foots,
Yeah.
things like that are like concussion protocol things.
Yeah.
A little off track there, but yeah, I went 2-1 for the pick with the Bruins. I'd say that's a dub. We're keeping tabs over here. And their New Jersey game did get postponed due to COVID, so that's why they only had 3 games this week. But all right, so I think that's about it for our teams from last week. Do you guys want to get into the actual talk around the league?
I'm down.
So to start this up, I wanted to bring up something in the beginning just because I feel like it's a really so it's really interesting just to see where this team will go in its future now with the Penguins hiring Jim Rutherford and Ron Hextall as a part of their upper management team. And I want not only like the fact of how they will do, but what does this mean for guys like Crosby, like Malkin, like Letang? Are they staying? Are they going? Do they get to pick? What do you guys think about this team's future and these players' futures?
Malkin's gone.
Think so?
I'm calling it now. He's had such a slow start to the year. He hasn't looked really good. He's not putting points up. Uh, you're not going to give Crosby up. You're not. Letang, I think he could do better, but again, I don't think they'll give him up. Malkin just doesn't seem like he fits right now. Um, And knowing Ron Hextall and knowing Berkey, like I don't think that they're necessarily afraid to.
Did I
to
say
do
Jim
that.
Rutherford? I meant to say Brian
You
Burke. I'm
did,
sorry,
yeah.
everybody.
You're good.
Jim
Yeah,
Rutherford
I'm sorry.
retired.
Yeah, he's still chilling.
Stepped down.
Yeah.
Love Brian Burke
But
though. He's such
yeah.
a beauty when it
He's
comes to this
such a
shit.
rock star.
Rock star, baby. But Brett, what about you? What does this mean for this team's future?
I honestly, I mean, pretty much the same thing Aiden said. The one I see leaving the most out of those three is Malkin.
Yeah.
If one of out of Malkin, Letang, Crosby. Crosby definitely. I think there's no way he goes. He's going to be there for a while. But Letang, I can maybe see. But I think they'd most want Malkin out of there.
hmm
Do you
Yeah,
agree?
I agree with that. I just think like I'm gonna put Letang on side A or side B, and then Crosby and Malkin in side A because I feel like Letang doesn't really have like the legacy that those two have in Pittsburgh, and I feel like he's the one there that has the least amount of say in what their future will be for the team. Like I feel like if Crosby and Malkin want to leave, like you may have to let him go. Wayne Gretzky was traded. Ray Bork was traded. All like guys can be traded that have amazing legacies with one team, and that's why I'm saying Letang I think would be the most likely to move because he doesn't really have that, and is still a good asset to a contender, maybe a contender um, like Colorado or a contender like the Knights, who maybe have they can use a guy like that and then send a pretty decent prospect the other way, so this team doesn't have to go through like a crazy rebuild.
Yeah.
Call me
Ooh,
crazy.
When you just said Letang and Colorado, you said Colorado, right?
Yeah,
I just like pictured Letang on this Colorado team, and I like shot back in my chair. I was like, "Whoa, that
it
Well,
would be weird.
but
it'd be
no,
insane that decor."
thinking about Colorado with Letang,
And then they could
logistically it
throw
makes
like
sense.
a
So I would be hesitant to. The only reason I'm hesitant to deal Letang if I'm Hextall um and
Burke.
Burke is who do you have on D? I think they still view Pittsburgh as a contender or a playoff team. Whether they look like it or not, I think they still view themselves as one of those.
I
So
think they could get into the playoff. I think they think that they could get into the playoffs, but I don't think that I don't think they're looking at that team right now and saying that we have a shot at the cup. I think they could get in, but
I
I don't
no,
think they're.
I completely agree with you. I don't think that they could make a strong run.
Mhm.
But if you've got if you've got Crosby and Malkin, then you don't need much more to give yourself a really good opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I just think who do you have on D? Like if Burke and Hextall still view Pittsburgh as a contender or a
Yeah.
team that could make a legitimate push in the playoffs, I'd rather have a stronger D than like Crosby and Malkin, where Crosby's still doing all right, but Malkin's
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, they have John Marino, who like I mean hasn't been amazing this year. I mean it's only his sophomore season, but he's good. They have that Marcus Peterson
Yeah.
kid. It's like I just think that I don't think they're gonna trade these guys for picks. I don't think that'll be the case. It's gonna have to be either like a prospect, maybe a package deal to add depth and spread out the talent, rather than keep it at one spot in like a player like Letang. I just think that Crosby at the end of the day is gonna get a say because he's the biggest fish in this pond. Let's be honest here. He's gonna have a say in where he goes and where he stays. At the end of the day, you can't tell a guy like Sidney Crosby like basically no when it comes to hockey.
No, I agree with that, which is why I think Crosby will stay, but I also think Malkin's going to stay too. I think if they're going to deal anyone, it's going to be or I'm sorry, did I say Malkin? I
Yeah,
meant Letang.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I
fine.
think Letang's going to stay too. Um, Malkin just looks like the disposable one here, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think they could pull more in um this season in terms of NHL ready players with Malkin than they could Letang.
His contract's also up though at the end of the season,
Another reason to deal him.
but that's also another reason that teams won't want to pick him up because then he may not resign.
Sure, unless it's a team looking to make a push.
That has 50 Russian players on it. Imagine him on the Caps. Oh my God.
Oh,
Dude.
imagine him on the Bruins.
3 years Super League. That'd be crazy. Actually, I don't know if I want him on the Bruins.
We have too many.
I'll be honest. That, and I don't know, just the attitude. He's such a rock star. I hate it.
I
He's so
love it.
cool and good at hockey. Wouldn't want to do that. All right. Well, I think this has been a nice little talk about the Pens' future, and I'm excited to see like what happens, whether that be a move or not be a move. I'm excited to see which one happens. Going forward, I mean, I feel like we talk about this guy every episode. It's Patrick Laine and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I swear to God, dude, this guy is making so much noise. He's a
fucking
rock
love it.
star in this league. I love him.
I love him. I love him so much. What does he do after Torts eats him alive? Is he
Drops
scores a
some
couple
nuts.
goals and throws some nucks around?
He goes bar south on a 10 through a screen, changes the angle of the shot, beats the bag out of, or not, I won't say beats the bag out of someone, but
He
tries
gets
to
some good ones in.
he attempts murder on this guy. Doesn't succeed, but he tries, and then has an unreal interview saying basically that's how you shoot a fucking puck. That's what you call cheese. That's basically what he said.
I didn't see
Like I love this dude, and I love Jack Roslovic, basically saying,
Yes.
"Fuck everybody that doubted me. I'm nasty."
Well, I don't know that anyone doubted him.
Team did. I mean, he never really got playing time and couldn't even get a contract done with his team.
See, I wonder how much of that falls onto his character. I don't know. I thought no, maybe you're right. The more I think about it.
Because he's always been a good little player with talent. Like it's like he's like a Bjork or like a Heinen or obviously I'm using Bruins players because that's like just the people I know first.
Yeah.
That have shown these glimpses of talent, but have never like raised their game to show that consistently. He's had plenty of opportunities and like shown that he could do it. And I don't know exactly, maybe the consistency wasn't there and stuff like that. I haven't really kept a close eye on him. But now that he has his opportunity with a fresh new start, oh, he's buzzing with it. He's taking it.
Oh,
Right by the
he's running.
balls. Right by the
his
balls.
hometown too. Or home
He's-
state.
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks, but good for
I
him
feel
though.
like whenever a player gets to go back and play in their either hometown or like just the team they grew up rooting for, they always have that extra like fire under them.
Little oomph.
Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously, Coyle situation coming back to Boston was big, but
Oh, he's from
what
Boston?
do you think of? But I think so, right?
Coyle? I had no idea.
He's from some town around Boston. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
anyone.
Yeah,
He's
some
the king
noth-
of something.
some nothing
Some
town.
stupid town.
Some nothing town. You're a joke.
Yeah.
Maroon and gold till I die. I mean, is there anything else? Like, what about Torch for you guys? Like, does Torch kind of look like a genius right now?
He's
Dude,
I
I've
think
always
he's
liked
I think he's
Evil
one of the
genius.
most underrated coaches in the
Mhm.
NHL.
Yeah.
In terms of
And it's
how he
easy too.
in terms of how he pushes his players, I think he's one of the most underrated coaches in the NHL.
I agree with that 100%. It's
He
just so easy to like underrate a guy that has so much other things besides his coaching going on. Like he's really building his brand and like his personality.
Yeah.
That kind of takes over when you look at him as a hockey coach. He's actually like not bad. He's a pretty good coach.
And it's like it's not even that I think people are so quick to judge coaches based on their success. And Torts hasn't had a lot of success in his career, like championships or anything.
I thought he won with the Lightning back in
He did. No, he did.
2000. Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I think when people judge coaches, they judge them against people like Quenneville or
Bowman.
Like Barry
Bowman.
Trotz or something.
exactly people who like have had consistent success. But looking at it from like an actual deep coaching perspective, Torts knows how to get shit out of his players. He knows how to like get them to the next level and mature them. And I would, as much as I would hate playing for him, I would absolutely love it.
What?
What?
No, that makes sense.
I would hate.
You
I
threw
would
my
hate.
brain a pretzel.
I would hate to play for him because he
Yeah.
pushes his players so fucking hard. But at
And
the
Yeah.
same
he's
time,
brutally honest.
I
So,
would
like,
love to play for him because he's going to make me a better person and a better player.
It's like at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you're like, you know what?
At
Like,
the end of the
I
day,
love
like
him.
I know this is what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be the same way too. Like just the honesty, like just don't play games, just be honest with me, you know what I mean? Like if I'm playing like shit, tell me I'm like shit. If I'm playing good, tell me I'm good. You know what I mean? How about you, Brett? What would Torts do to your little brain?
no, I'm the same way. Like you're never gonna see someone like be coached by him and not be one of the hardest working guys on the ice. And if you're not, then you're out of there. He's not gonna play you. So,
Absolutely.
and that's always gonna be. It always comes down to like who wants it more in a game. So if that's like seems to be like the number one thing he instills in his players is just giving that 110% like the whole time. So
And I think the whole Dubois situation kind of rubbed Torts' image the wrong way.
Mhm.
But I think it just that came down to Dubois just not being able to handle Torts. You know what I mean? Like he just couldn't handle his coaching style. He couldn't handle how he does things, and you're either gonna get swallowed up by someone like him, or you're gonna come out the other side and be a better person and a better player, like I said. But he's such a sick guy. He's such a fucking rock star. I love
Rockstar,
him.
dude. Evil genius.
I know.
But
I know.
getting away because there's gonna be something next week that we have to talk about with this fucking team and Torts and Lana and Roslovic. So we'll save the rest of the talk for next week. But like Brett, AIDS, do you guys have anything you wanted to bring up before we move on? Like news around the league, anything you guys wanted to talk about?
I mean, there was just like the whole like Ryan Dzingel trade and Galchenyuk, and then Galchenyuk gets shipped out again right away. He's just like, all
dude.
over
Now
the
he's on the
place.
leaves,
Like,
dude.
I
Like,
thought
what's
I was like
going on?
misreading it, like because there was obviously the initial one that brought Galchenyuk to the Hurricanes, right, from Ottawa, and then Dzingel and someone else up to Ottawa. And then like literally like the next morning, I saw that Galchenyuk went to the Leafs, and I was like, am I reading this right?
What happened?
So quick. But I mean, he's played for like 6 or 7 teams now, and
Yeah,
like
what's
he's
his
obviously,
deal?
yeah. I mean, he's a good player, but the last few seasons he hasn't been. Like I feel like he used to be pretty solid.
He's
back
put
when
up
he was
50
on.
points in a season before.
Don't forget he was the 3rd overall pick in 2012.
Tough pick.
Well, no, he's got so much potential, but I
Yeah.
think it was a couple years ago when he first got traded out of Montreal. I think there was a lot of pressure on him to
Mhm.
perform when he was traded. I don't even remember the first team he went to. I don't know if it was
Arizona,
I think it was Arizona, then Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Okay.
then Mini, and then Ottawa.
Okay, yeah. So I think he
I think
just
we're
had
missing like 10 teams in between though.
easily. I just think he had a lot of pressure on him after that trade, and I think it kind of ate him up a little bit. But
Hard to
he's
be
only
the man when you
he's
don't
only
have that instinct.
yeah, he's only like 27.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
He's still
I mean-
really, really, or not really young, but he hasn't hit the prime of his career yet.
Hopefully.
No.
Oh yeah, right. Hopefully, but no, him going to Toronto is a little bit scarier. If he can figure it out, if he can reach the potential that he has as like a 3rd overall pick would have, he'd be a scary man in Toronto. But
Yeah. I was
I
gonna
just-
say I'm not counting him out yet, but like
yeah,
he just needs to find that stride.
hmm
I don't get the Hurricanes in what they got back for him though.
I think they just wanted him out of there, dude. Especially with his cap hit. Like, I'm a Hurricanes fan, and like I swear to God, this kid just hasn't really done much since being in Carolina. I think this was his like 3rd season.
Wait,
he would have started.
whoa.
The single?
No, I was talking about.
He's talking about Galchenyuk.
We were still talking about Galchenyuk.
I thought. Okay, apologies.
Yeah, he's
I
talking
thought.
about
I thought.
Galchenyuk going.
No,
to
I'm
Carolina.
talking
Oh,
about.
I thought you
That's not
said.
back.
Gotcha.
No, because I mean I agree with you in Dzingel
Mhm.
there. Again, a lot of potential that he just hasn't really had in Carolina. But In my notes here, I have Carolina got 2 guys for Galchenyuk. They got Korshkov, who has played 1 game in the NHL, and it was last year, has 1 goal. And they got Warsofsky, who hasn't played in the NHL in 3 years.
Need that
So
LTIR, baby.
I don't. Well, he's been playing in the A. He's played
Oh,
like 50
shit.
games apiece in the A for the last
How
2
old
3
is
years.
he now? I
He's
feel like
only
he's been around
he's
forever.
30.
Jesus Christ.
So he's still on the younger side ish. But I don't understand the reasoning behind sending Galchenyuk to Toronto for those guys too. I don't get it.
Because I thought it would be more of like a cap shed type of situation. But like you
Well,
said, like what do you
why
get
would they take
back in
him?
these players? Like
Why would they take him in the first place if they were just going
that's
to
what I'm
deal him?
saying.
I
I don't
don't.
know. Fucking weird.
Yeah,
It's freaking weird, man.
freaking weird.
But yeah, Dzingle's been trash on the Hurricanes, so I'm kind of happy he's out. But at the same time, like, I don't know who's gonna step up in that role for him. I think he was playing like third, fourth line. I mean, still, you got to fill that spot. Who's gonna fill that spot?
Maybe Warsofsky. Maybe you put a little bit of an older vet, a little bit of grit in there instead of a younger skill guy.
True, that team just like kind of just rolls on just speed. Maybe they're looking for more of like an anchoring type of player
Exactly.
with that grit. Who knows, dude? Who fucking knows? I swear to
knows?
God. Speaking of the Canes, though, goals, 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 goals. What is up with the league right now?
Well, they should
They
with a
just scored
lineup like
7.
that.
Besides fucking St. Louis, dude. Fuck that. 0 goals against Arizona. Losers.
In just one of the games.
Losers. But yeah, dude, what is going on? Is this just part of like how we obviously thought that there'd be more fights as you see the same guys over and over, so they're gonna piss you off more. That's why there's been more fights this year. Is it just at the point of the season where just teams are just figuring each other out from playing each other so much that they can just exploit these holes in the defense and just score as many times as they want?
But you would think it would go both ways, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were 10 goals scored in that Columbus Hurricanes game,
And then
and
there
then
was
Edmonton Jets
Edmonton
6-5.
Winnipeg had a 6-5. The what was the other big scoring one last night? Oh, Senators Leafs was 6-5 also.
Celtics. Can we actually just get right into that?
Wait, and the Oilers and Senators earlier on in the season had like 8-5 and 8-5.
Yeah,
Like there are plenty of high scoring games
crazy.
from teams,
Yeah.
More than I've seen in a while, I think. I mean, unless I'm drawing a blank on some that have happened in the past, but I don't know. It's exciting. But yeah,
is
Brett, will you please start us off with the Sens and Toronto game last night? Because I just know you've been buzzing around this this whole thing since it happened.
dude, because we were on Xbox last night when it happened, and one of you was like, oh, the
Buzzing, by the
Senators
way.
came back from whatever, from 5-1. So yeah, Senators were down 5-1, late in the second, and scored a shorthanded goal late in the second to make it 5-2 with like 9 seconds left in the period. So they go into the third down 5-2, score 3, pretty spread out over the period. I think one was with like 14 to go, and then maybe 2 within 10 minutes. I know the last one to tie it was with like 2 minutes to go by Evgeny Dadonov batting it out of the air in the slot, putting it in, and then he goes on to score the overtime winner, which I don't know if you guys watched it, but Dadonov's
I saw the
overtime
OT winner.
That was just like a big, yeah, just a big scramble in front of the net. Marner slides into the slot to I forget who, and he blocks it with like his knee. Breakout, and on a breakaway goal. It was unreal.
Did you think that Freddie went down too early on that basically breakaway by Danov? Did you think Freddie kind of went down too early?
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I thought he was going down too early, but you go.
No, but me and my dad were talking about this. That little like move he did is becoming so popular.
The pump
that breakaway where it's just like a quick little shoulder dip and then they drop and you go over them. And like, I mean, I haven't seen many goalies save that yet, at least when it's happened on a breakaway. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, yeah, he dropped too early because of the pump fake, but like, I don't know what I was supposed to do in that situation. I'm not a fucking goalie, so
True.
When it comes to what I've seen a lot of this year though is when it comes to like shootouts and breakaways and stuff, players are getting very skilled in terms of their hands to the point
Mhm.
where they can make a move at the very last second right on top of the goalie and just put it in. And I think
Mhm.
it's hard on the goalies to kind of judge that because you know because of their positioning and how they are, it's not easy for them to like make a reaction save like that.
Yeah.
So because I think we're going to start to see more of that because players are getting so skilled in moving in like those tight little areas that they can
Mhm.
make a move at the very last second that they possibly could, and it's going to go in every time.
Like, I do love like the new way that these like moves are going, like breakaways, shootout moves, where it's like you're getting the goalie moving and then going the other way or shooting the other way. Or it's like this kind of almost like knuckle puck effect where it's just like you're kind of buckling the goalie because a glove, like a glove save, is a different motion than a blocker save.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's something a goalie has to worry about too, like the handiness of the shooter and what side is it, forehand, backhand. So, and I love too, like this new like wave of just like cutting in, cutting to one side, and then just tapping at 5-hole. Like that's so
Yep.
disrespectful, dude. But you see that all the time now. Like 4 or 5 years ago, that's like kind of like a crazy good goal. But now it's like I swear to God, almost every breakaway, every time up close, like they're trying to get the goalie to open up, slide over it so they can just shove it 5-hole, and it's working. It's really working. All these new moves are working. Goals, 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 goals.
Goals.
a couple
Goals,
other
goals.
things from that game last night though. That Zub kid scored his first goal.
Zoob.
Breakaway. Did you guys see that one too?
Yeah,
No, I didn't see it.
that was
This
really
defenseman out of nowhere put on a nice move, undressed Anderson.
right out of the box too.
Right out of the box. Yeah,
Oh,
sent
Oh,
on a
it
three-way.
was so nice.
But I know we mentioned him briefly last episode, but I just fucking love Brady Kachuk.
Oh yeah.
That kid is
Wagon.
so exciting to watch. Like you
That whole
never
I love
know what
team.
he's gonna do, dude.
That team is so much fun to watch.
So
It's easy to root for them too, like because they're just kind of like
Exactly.
a band of brothers.
they're
Like,
such underdogs going in every game.
yeah, it's so easy to like root for them, and like I just love the personalities too. Like I love seeing like the NHL move more towards of like being who you are as a player and it being more like individualistic, in terms of like personality, style, brand.
Keyword.
Like this, yeah, word guy. Like the Tuchuk brothers, like they are so young and already have this whole persona around them for just being like asshole clowns that are
Psychos.
sick at hockey, psychopaths, yeah, and they're sick at hockey. So it's just like it's so fun to watch both these Tuchuk brothers every night. So much fun.
Have the Senators and Flames haven't played each other yet, right?
I don't think
I
so.
think that's like
Oh my
that
God,
might be
yeah.
like the only Canadian matchup that hasn't happened yet. Maybe one of the few. Most of them have for sure.
I
Because
think no.
Canucks and Sens played each other before, right? Like the first night, one of the first nights.
Yes. No, I think that is the only matchup that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, Flames and Senators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, moving south of the border. I just something quick that I want to bring up, and we can move on after.
Yeah.
But I was watching, what was it, yesterday, 2 days ago, the Penguins and Caps game, and they were talking about Vanacek in goal for the Caps,
A
and
rookie, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So he's had the last 3 games he's lost in regulation, but he started the season 5-0.
Mhm.
Everyone thought Samsonov was going to be their guy, but Vanacek took it over. Samsonov has only played, I think, 3 or 4 games, maybe.
He was on the COVID protocol though for a while.
That's true. That's true. But no, this guy Vanacek, who I've never heard of before, again, lost his last few games, but
Mhm.
overall, he's been the guy for the Caps, which has been
Is he
sick to see.
Czech?
I don't know. His name is like Vitek Vanacek or Vital Vanacek.
Dude, that's bars. So
He's-
that's 3 times fast.
But no, I just wanted
Like
to bring him
Capo
into
Caco.
it because he's fucking what a sick name that is. Capo Caco.
So if you have a cool name, do you just automatically go to the NHL?
If
you
you're
can
from
just skate on
You
ice.
have to
If-
become famous for something.
if you're from Europe and have a
Facts.
sick name, yeah, you get to go to the show.
It's just
And then
any
there's just
name you can
Tom Brady,
do.
greatest football player of all time.
White-
Just
Arguably the greatest
Tom
athlete.
White dude
Tom
from California.
Brady. That's such a joke. That's like being named like ABCD, something like that. Actually, no, that'd be kind of sick. But
That would be sick.
Tom Brady, just the easiest name of all time, most generic name, just sick at heart.
That's
Just
like,
sick of
there's
fucking
a guy
football.
on the Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. Like
CeeDee
his first name is Ceedee. I mean, I think
That's so
I'm pretty sure
fire.
it's like a nickname.
That's
Like he's
sick.
known as CeeDee Lamb. Like they announce him as like CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
What was that dude like a couple of years ago? That's like something the greatest to ever do it.
Oh, the coldest. The coldest.
Oh,
to ever
that-
do
What's
it.
his real name?
It's like the coldest to ever do it. That's so fire.
I mean, if his last name was like what, ever do it, or maybe
Like
I don't
Simmons
know.
or
If that
something,
was
like,
my
I don't
last
know.
Name, I'd name my kid the coldest too.
Oh, yeah.
The coldest ever.
Absolutely. The
That's-
coldest to ever do it. It's
A
so
name,
fire.
a name like that is something I can see you naming your kid, Raph.
I'm
just
naming my
something
kid
Baller.
like probably Randy. Something like that, like Randy.
What's the middle name? Randy Rafferty. What do you got in the middle? Fucking. Randy fucking Rafferty?
But,
I know. I'll be
PH
like,
in the beginning.
I don't even know idea. I'd just probably be like,
No middle name.
Randy the number one Rafferty. Something stupid like that. I like this kid is either gonna get bullied or be the bully. No shot, no in between. So I mean, how about you guys? You guys have any cool names?
No.
No,
Yeah, no.
just like
People call me
Christian.
AIDS. That's about it.
you can AIDS the Cure, Crowley.
The
What
Cure.
about you,
Good band.
Brett?
I don't have any fun names. I'm just
Top
Oh,
Brett.
fun names, dude. Come on, dude.
Bread.
Maybe some.
I mean, you guys got
Pigeon.
Bread, Pigman. You guys have a lot for me.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, Tiblets.
Blitz.
I like how I like to say Brett, two B's, two T's, Tibbets. Rocking the stage, but all right, got a little off the wagons there. Do you guys have anything else around the league, like any other things you guys want to talk about?
The Lake Tahoe games are this weekend.
That's
Any
right.
pictures of that and stuff.
Right
dude?
on the pond, baby.
Like,
Right on the pond.
I was thinking maybe since there's just two games, you could do a little score prediction for each one, each of us.
Ooh, it's
Because one's Avs versus Vegas is Saturday, and Boston versus Philly is Sunday. Let's
banging
start
the
with
over on the
Vegas.
Flyers game.
Fuck, what
Really?
was that?
Flyers Bruins one. Okay.
Yeah.
Score predictions? God, I don't even know.
Are they doing
versus Vegas.
jerseys? Do they make like like the Winter Classic or like the Heritage game? Do they do that like type of thing for this, or just wear like probably retros or something?
I
I
feel
think-
like I saw somewhere that they're wearing their retros.
I'd hope
But
so
I'm
because
like, they better, dude.
they
That'd be
better.
sick.
I think they're going to.
Except the Flyers ones make me want to puke, but whatever.
Oh yeah, they're gross.
Oh, I'd be excited to see the Avs ones though. There's
Yeah.
they
The
had some
Quebec.
pictures.
Oh.
The Vegas ones are nice too, with the little knives going
Oh,
across.
yeah,
The
there's the
red.
logo.
I do think the red
Yeah.
is sick.
Besides the chrome buckets they were wearing, dude.
They need to never wear those again.
It just doesn't
I-
work with their uniform, dude. Like if
No.
you're from like Notre Dame, how they do it,
Yeah.
absolutely just yucky style. But with Vegas, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
There's a hot topic. I was reading when they wore them that night a few nights ago, and I was like going through Instagram. The NHL page posted about it, like NHL discussion posted about it, and I was like looking through the comments because I wanted to see if people actually liked it, and there are people that like that.
How?
It looks disgusting because the
Chrome
gold.
domes.
Yeah. They did like people
That's
were
a
like
crime.
fucking. They're like, yeah, this is sick. Like everyone needs to
That's
do
a
this. I was like,
Jail instantly
It's-
if you like
yes.
that.
I
We're getting you
like,
tested.
it just doesn't work. Like the
I don't
color of
know.
the gold helmet is different than the gold on their jerseys. That's the biggest
yeah.
thing. I think if it was the same color, maybe it would look okay.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was thinking.
it just
But this is also coming from a guy that throws on sweatpants, white Vans, a sweatshirt, a hat on and maybe a flannel and says I'm the dopest in the league. But so what does my opinion really matter for
You're not wearing
style? But
you're not wearing a chrome dome. That's what.
Hockey Plus hat, baby. Quick plug. But yeah, they're disgusting.
No,
Fuck
they're gross.
that.
They're gross.
But Avs versus
Um,
Vegas. Who do you guys think's winning?
I'm
Vegas.
betting the under.
I was gonna go Vegas too.
I don't know, dude. Those two teams just have such like tilts. I hate like
I know.
they're
the
like
two best in the
of all
West.
the matchups in the league. Like I swear they have to be like the toughest for me because it's every game is so close. Like you're not gonna have a 6-5 Colorado Vegas game. It's gonna be like 2-1, maybe 3-1, one empty net, 3-2, something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know,
Before he
dude.
plays, it's got to be Vegas because he is hot right now.
And you're telling me this guy doesn't rock an outside game?
Yeah.
No shot. You
He's
can tell me
playing a
that.
ton.
Yeah, dude lives on the pond.
I'll go Vegas 4-2 in that game.
Are we doing score too?
Yeah,
Why not?
I'll go Vegas 5-3.
Okay.
I'll go a little more.
Just to make it a little bit different. I'll go Colorado 3-2 overtime.
Ooh, who gets the OT
okay.
winner?
Brandon Sad. No, I'm kidding. No, I'll go with like Sam Gerard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Love him, dude. Probably one of my sneaky favorite underrated defensemen in the entire league.
He's on my fantasy team, which is 5-0.
Give me him.
Brag. Boston versus Philly. That's going to be overtime.
Probably.
2-1 Boston.
Ooh, low.
Nice pick. I
Yeah.
like that pick.
I'm also gonna go Boston, but I'm gonna go 4-1.
Okay.
I'll go. Oh, the Boston guys all picked Boston.
Well, ride the hot hand here.
Yeah, I think
Philly's
they
playing
haven't
their
beat us this year, right? We played them
no
3 times, 2 times.
Yeah, we did. I think
4 times.
I don't know where time is going. I'll go
same
I'll go
numbers.
Bruins. Bruins 6-3. Bruins.
Wins.
Oh God.
No,
Yeah.
I don't wanna
going
be-
Bruins like 6-3.
I don't want to be homers about it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boston has Philly's number this year. They're 4-0.
Yeah,
Yeah. That team is sick though, dude. Like JVR having a year.
they are. Good.
All those guys, dude. They just need a goaltending to kind of figure it out a little bit. Carter Hart hasn't looked Carter Hartish.
Yes, a little bit of a.
You know who's also kind of underperformed for me on that team is Provorov, who, as a guy, since entering the league, for me, hasn't really taken a step back. And I'm not saying he's taken a step back. I'm just saying, like, he's kind of like, hasn't really gone that extra step I thought he would have this year. Like, I really thought either like this year or the next year, he could have been easily in the Norris talks. But to me, he hasn't looked like that at all.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
He's been kind of quiet. I
Yeah.
like seeing Gostisbehere get in the lineup more this year
Yeah.
after last year or the last year and a half he's had there. Because I like Ghost. He's a good defenseman. He just had issues last year for whatever
Yeah.
reason. So I'm happy to see him back in the lineup and not obviously blowing it out of the water, but he's average right now.
Just because you have the tools doesn't mean you can build the shed, dog. I think he has the tools.
An analogy.
Yeah, that was on the spot. My brain is clicking right now.
It
But yeah,
doesn't
like, I like
click.
his-
It doesn't click often, but when it does, stuff like that happens.
magic. Yeah, like I think he has some good tools. Like he has a nice little game to him. I just think, sometimes you get kind of out of rhythm as a player, you know what I mean? Like, and I think maybe this is just him coming back to who he's supposed to be. Crosby hasn't always been a 100-point player. There's been years where he's been, I don't think he's actually ever been below a point per game, but still, you know what I mean? Like you go through a rhythm as a
Exactly.
professional athlete.
Mhm.
That's the most mature thing I've said in so long. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that this podcast version of Raph is a completely different Raph than
Oh,
how we see him
absolutely.
like playing Eschel clubs in Chell.
Absolutely.
Completely different person.
There's 3 different types of rafts. There's the one that you just said. There's
Raph.
podcast raf, and then there's classroom raf, where I sit and I look like the most normal person of all time, and I just sit there, don't say anything, I don't move, I sit and I take my notes. You could easily be in a class with me and never know, because I just sit there. I always go back row. but now I have to go front row because I can't see. And I sit there and I don't say anything. I don't ask a question in front of the class. I don't answer a question in front of the class. If I have questions and answers, I'll go to the teacher. This classroom math for you.
Watching you do homework too is such a sight to see. You get like, there isn't much that you get locked in with, but when you do get locked in, it's like clubs, dunks,
Mhm.
and homework.
I got
That's pretty
missions
much
to
it.
accomplish.
I-
There's missions
I
in my
f-
life I have to accomplish.
Exactly.
I feel like a bunch of my Snap memories are videos of Raph being locked in on homework. Like
Right.
last year
Oh yeah,
when we were at
Like,
school.
dude. Like I'm a complete joke outside of like maybe school and like chow. Like when it comes to school, I'll just like I don't even know. I hate having that feeling of having things to do. And like so I'll just sit and do this homework and I'll grind it out and I'm just like looking at this shit like so pissed off and I'm like, bro, like you're getting done right now. Yeah, I'm gonna get you done. And I do like I will say like what?
You always finish what you start.
Yeah, push the start, baby. So yeah, enough about how much of a clown I am. You guys have any other topics? Unless you guys want to just head right into the new teams of the week, the new batch, the Baker's dozen.
To our hot seats, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brett,
Well,
you're really
hot seat
buzzing, man.
player, and hot seat team.
We'll do player. You know what this? We'll do team. We'll do one round of that, and we'll cycle back through and do the players for everybody.
Alright.
That's
Just
how we
kind
did
of
it
change it
last
up a little
time.
bit.
We'll do it
Yeah.
last time,
Brett, you know what? You're buzzing right now. Please start us off with your team.
I think
And
you
thank
said
you.
that exact thing last week.
Yeah, because you're always buzzing. It's not my fault.
All right, so my hot seat team this week is a team that has just been super hot. And I think they're going to continue it. Is the Florida Panthers. This week they have 3 games. They have 1 against the Canes, and then 2 against the Red Wings.
Red Wings are
better
gonna
come
sneaky
out.
get one.
I
They
know they
better
are.
come
I know
out.
they are.
2-1. I think they can beat the Canes. I think they might beat the Canes, and that puts them, to me, in a safety position where they can drop one to the Red Wings, and they'll still be 2-1 when we come back and record next week. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I think they can pull off 3-0, but 2-1, I'd be okay with. So
Okay, I like that pick though.
But
We haven't
I
really
think
given
their
much
record
love
right
to
now is
Florida.
like 9-2-2 or something. They're like,
They're
not bad.
rolling. They're
Yeah,
they're a really good
9-2-2.
team.
yeah, dude,
We don't give
they're
them. We
just
need to
rolling.
give them more love on this pod, dude. Because
I
they're
know.
actually like
I
they
mentioned
buzz.
them last week. I just
No, you didn't.
brought them up.
They're
you didn't.
retros too.
Ooh,
They're-
yucky.
Their retros are
I forget what these are. Let me look.
oh, they're like the vintage original logo that they
I
have.
like those,
Oh
dude.
wait, no,
Oh.
yeah.
It's so
Because
nice.
I don't like the new logo with them because it's like like the crest.
I think it's
type of
kind of
thing.
cool.
Dude, yeah.
I like the old one
I'm
better.
the opposite. I like that new style. I mean,
I-
Like the
I
old
like
one.
that they went back to the old for the retros, obviously. But
Yeah,
but I like the new one.
I also like it.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, these are sick.
AIDS. All right then. Well, Brett, good luck. I hope you come out on top on that one.
Thank you.
AIDS, want to go? Who's your team?
Yeah, so not a playoff team or anything, but just a fun team to watch that we talk about pretty much all the time. I'm going to Ottawa.
You.
So Ottawa,
One barn. Win one barn burner.
they got
Put the house on them.
they got two in a row right now. They got a two game win streak.
Let's go.
And they're just so much fun to watch. Like watching those kids, most of them are like under 25. They're just fucking having a good time. And if they can have a huge win like that against Toronto,
Mhm.
they play Toronto twice more this week. I think it's Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday. And then they play Montreal. I think it's next Monday. I think they'll go 2-1. I think they could maybe lose 1 to Toronto. But
And
nope.
no, I will say my boys have kind of cooled off a little bit, but they'll get the wheels going. You need a pit stop. You got to change the fuel tank once in a while. You know that's why
Yeah.
cars you got to refuel them.
And another thing I want to point out about Ottawa is that most of their games, at least of recently, are like 1-goal losses.
Yeah,
So
that's very true.
it's not like they are struggling with goaltending. I think that's one of the biggest things. But other than that, they're playing tight games. Like
Mhm.
all these kids have pretty much nothing to lose. So what's going to stop them from just going balls to the wall every night for like no fucking reason? So
Very true.
that's what I got.
I like that pick. I hope they do well. I mean, it's such an easy team, like we've said, to root for.
Mhm.
Well, for my pick, this isn't like a hot seat. Like, oh, I hope you guys do good. Like, they're buzzing right now. This is like figure your shit out. St. Louis Blues, you have pissed me off. And if you don't score 7 goals in every one of your next games by the time we record the next episode, I'm firing everybody on that team. This is a wake up call.
They should be scoring goals like crazy with Mike Hoffman now too, and these additions.
O'Reilly,
And well, yeah, I know, I'm trying to.
Justin Falk just casually can just score 2 goals whenever he wants as a defenseman.
Do you want to explain to everyone why you've been shitting on St. Louis this whole pod?
No, it's not like I had like a $10 parlay to win like a couple bucks on them, and if it would have hit if they scored more than 0 goals, but no, yeah, that's not the reason why at all. It was only $10, so I'm not mad about it. It's not like it's like the principle or anything. Yeah, so I hope they do good this week. I'll be keeping a close eye on them.
I do agree. I do think St.
thank you.
Louis could pick it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not crazy. I'm just mad. Brett, round 2. Who's the player?
So I kind of forgot if I had done him before on the hot seat, but I'm like 99% sure I haven't. But I'm going with Jack Hughes this week.
Very nice.
Ooh.
He was doing pretty hot before they had like 6 or 7 games postponed. He had 8 points in 9 games. He was obviously already looking way better than last year. And so I think just coming back after this big break, the Devils are hopefully gonna come out firing, except for the game against the Bruins. Maybe take that one easy, and then start picking it up after that. But yeah, I think he can put up. They have 3 games this week. Obviously the one against the Bruins, and I kind of forget what the other 2 are. But one of them is Rangers. Maybe 2 of them are actually. But yeah, I think he's gonna put up a few points this week.
I like that pick.
Coming off like a week and a half of no games too. I think that is a good pick.
Well, very nice pick. Aids, you want to continue round 2? Players
Yeah. So I called out Nashville in the hot seat last week. So I'm kind of gonna stick with the same vibe this week and go Matt Duchene. I think he's been a joke this year.
He's a clown. He's a
joke.
miserable clown.
Right off the cliff.
So he's got 8 points in 15 games.
Matt.
For as much as
goals.
he gets paid and who he is, not good enough.
I
gotta pick that up.
That whole Nashville team's got to figure it the fuck out. But I think it starts with like people like Duchene, who are supposed to be scoring. So I'm looking at what he's projected to put up this year. He's projected to put up 42 points, 19 goals and like 23, 24 assists. He's at 8 right now in 15.
Nice.
Which is tough numbers.
Points per game legend.
-9 too. He just like doesn't look good. He doesn't.
I'm kind of surprised he hasn't, or like, because David Poyle is still the GM there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like honestly surprised he hasn't like blown that thing up yet.
Because on paper they should be a sick team, but they're not.
They're like almost becoming what the Minnesota Wild used to be, of like just a team that would always underperform.
Yeah.
Pretty solid on paper. It should be good, but just never can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's how they ever since they lost to Pittsburgh 17.
There you go.
17 cup. It's just been downhill, and they were a wagon for so long. So David Poyle, give Buddy Pass a call, and we'll figure out the moves you need to make for you.
And it's not even
may need to be one of them.
It's not even that Poyle's been making bad moves too. They just they brought in Turris a few years ago. He ended up being a bust. They brought in Granlund last year. He's been slow. It's just like,
hey, sometimes no move could be a bad move. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like if you don't make a move, that's a bad move. Like he needs to be. I'm saying he could
be bad.
What?
I'm
saying, like, if you're a bad team and you just don't make any trades or anything, you're not going to get better. So that's bad.
Yeah. But I'm also saying that he's making moves and they're not doing well.
Well, I was referring more on like right now for this year. Like he hasn't really been making like I'm not talking like the Turris trade was like
I get
a
it.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Bringing Duchene in free agency was like a couple years ago. I mean like right now, like making a move.
Yeah.
There we go, boys. Brains are easily on right now.
We're fried right now.
Absolutely fried. Yeah, I know, low key. It's the weather, man. Well, oh, we have to do the forecast.
We do.
Yeah, the weather for the weather. Once I'm doing the weather real quick.
Yep.
The weather for the next couple days is just rain, snow, and shit. And that's about it. Thanks, boys, for coming to
Woo.
Channel 7 News. I said my team, right?
No,
I
you
said
didn't.
St. Louis.
Oh, you said St.
yeah,
Louis,
like
not your guy.
Yeah, because they're a joke of a team.
Yeah.
My player. I wanted to say St. Louis again because I'm so mad. I don't know. I guess like what I could say for who needs to just pick it up or this team's gonna die is Koskinen and Smith tandem on the Oilers. Like they don't. We can talk about that. Let me just finish real quick.
No. Yeah.
They like, dude, they're not even giving their team a chance to win. Like I will say, like I feel bad with Mike Smith being pulled last night on 11 shots on, only had 7 saves. Like some of them were just fucking snipes. Like Connor had a bullet that I don't think anybody could ever react to, no matter what position you're in. It was just a dart. But like, dude, they have to give their teams a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just score a zillion goals if a zillion and one goals are going to be scored on you. Like, at least play solid. I'm not saying like have like a 930 save percentage and sub 2 goals against. Like, put up a solid 910 for your team, and maybe like, you know what I mean. Give them a chance. But if you want to go on that, Mo.
I wanted to talk about Mike Smith because that was his third game, I think it was,
Yeah.
against Winnipeg last night. But he won his first 2 games.
And he did play really well. And I
played-
guess it's like the sample size for me that makes me not weigh those performances as much as the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because it's such a small sample size. It was more on Koskinen too. I was talking about. I just, you know what I mean.
I don't like Koskinen in Edmonton at all.
He's a
I
joke.
will say that. He's a
I don't
joke.
like him anyway.
Chiarelli's a joke of a GM for signing him to a
But know who's a
5.3.
legend? Is his agent for getting him that deal. Legend. He's coming to every family party if I'm Koskinen.
Yeah. No, but I agree. I think last night was a tough look on that whole on the Edmonton goaltending tandem.
Mhm.
But I wanted to talk about Mike Smith earlier in the episode. Just because I think other than last night, is he again small sample size, but is he the goaltending answer for Edmonton right now? In his first two,
I don't think
Might be
either
their
of them
saving
are.
grace.
in his first
I
2
don't think-
games, he had a 9.35 save percentage and 2.1 goals against.
And then in the game last night, he saw 11 shots and only saved 7 of them.
And last night was pretty bad, yeah. But again,
So that's why I'm just like, I would say give it time. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Just give it some
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Bigger sample size.
Yeah.
2 scoops, not one. Chocolate vanilla,
always double scoop.
hot fudge marshmallows,
Spookies.
McFlurry, Oreos on top, large thick frap.
All right, we're gonna take the mic away from you.
Raph's definitely getting McDonald's for dinner tonight.
Yes.
Oh, dude, it's raining out. Forecast guy. That calls for McDonald's, dude. Just sit here and like if you walk into my room, you'll think I like OD'd on like McDonald's. I'll be passed out on the floor, like
French
you could draw
fries
a chart.
sprinkled around you.
no, we got a large. You can only handle a medium. All right, boys. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this week, episode 7 of Buddy Pass Podcast. Once again, presented by the Masshole Perspective. Aiden Crowley, Brett Tibbetts, Chris Rafferty. We are out. Thank you for coming, boys. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and wear your mask. Have a good one.